Gamers, I wanted to talk about the newest character coming to Genshin Impact, Lyney. Now, I've seen some pros, I've seen some cons, some people like it, some people don't. I like the magic motif. I think that it's really interesting, but I think that they messed up. I think they missed a very big opportunity here, and I want to explain that. So, some people like the femboy look, some people don't. This is not my favorite character visually at all, but I like the idea of the magic motif, like this performer. But I don't think they nailed it the way I hoped. When I first saw Lyney, I was hoping for some sort of deception, stealth, potentially assassin-like gameplay. And we got a pyrotechnic charge shot user with some explosions, and I don't love it. I really don't love it. I'm going to go over the kit in a minute, but I hoped for different for Lyney. But this character just didn't really deliver what I kind of envisioned, especially when I saw the sister as well. Like the sister, I think they show off like kind of right after somewhere. And I really think that this is cool. This is kind of what I expected, you know, dashing around, invisibility, some sort of like, you know, bonuses for attacking enemies from behind, or I don't know. So it's almost like she got what I had hoped for, but it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he is what he is. And I don't think that I would go for him after looking at his kit. It looks pretty bad to me. I am not interested in it whatsoever. And, you know, in a game like Genshin Impact, if you don't love the character visually, if they don't seem fun to you, which I think he looks super boring, then that's an issue. Because this game, you can beat with multiple different characters. You can just make Hyper Bloom teams and kill everything. So you really gotta like the gameplay. And I feel like Lyney is just, like, boring, bro. This is big news. AFK Journey is a brand new game, a brand new adventure, and it is in a beta right now. So click the link down below to pre-register today because there's limited spots available. This looks wicked. You may recognize some of the characters on screen if you've played AFK Arena, but this is an all-new adventure with all new mechanics. There's a wide cast of new and returning heroes. There's strategic battles where you can place your heroes and interact with the map to get rewards and damage your enemies. Heroes have ultimate moves to support your team or destroy your enemies. And there is a vast world for you to explore with hidden secrets, quests, and puzzles for you to enjoy. AFK Journey is an idle game, which means if you don't have all day to grind, you can still make great progress on your account, getting rewards when you're not even online playing. This game has a lot of fun strategy, optimizing your team choices with all the different heroes you collect, and interacting with the battlefield while you're in the middle of a fight. There's a new story for you to enjoy, battles and bosses for you to fight, and honestly, this is looking really good. So what are you waiting for? Click the link down below and pre-register today for AFK Journey. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video, and let's get back into the content. Okay, those attacks look amazing. They look fantastic. I wish that was all the attacks. And then he whips out a bow and you can do your charge shots and all that. And this side of the gameplay, I've used Ganyu a lot, I know gets very boring over time. So here's the thing. You shoot out your regular bow, and then you can create this little, let me just go back there 1 second. You can create this little Grinmalkin is what it's called. It's like a little cat in a hat. And it will taunt enemies, and then it'll explode, and it'll send out a little pyrotechnic strike. Or you can kind of snap your fingers, and it'll do an area of effect explosion, kind of like that. You can do some like AoE stuff as well. So there's some single target stuff, there's some AoE stuff, and that's cool. And I don't know if they show the footage of this. Maybe they do later on. But if you want an example of what he does, he turns into like kind of like Kiana, turns into like a little hat, and he goes, "Oh, I'm coming to get you," and goes into the battlefield as a charge shot bow user. And I just don't like that playstyle. I think it just sounds terrible to me. As a bow user, you want to stay far away, and they're making you go towards the battlefield. It just sounds stupid. And yeah, so that's kind of how I'm feeling. So here's the big thing. With all these characters and me having, you know, a lot of great characters, is his playstyle fun or more fun than the units that I currently have, or the units that might be coming in the near future? Is he going to be stronger than the characters that are currently available or will be available in the future? And I just don't know if I see the potential here compared to other units. And with a banner like Yelan going to be going on at the same time, if you're a new player, get Yelan. Maybe you've got a bow for her already or for him already. Get Yelan. Yelan is cracked. She is so good. And like her playstyle is very fun. But I want to talk about stupid little Lyney. Lyney, wait, what's going on here? New in 4.0. Oh, there we go. There's a character. Lyney does charge shots, as I explained before. He's got two kind of charge levels like Ganyu. You got your basic shot, and then you got like the big juicy one that sends out the little taunting hat. Now, the taunting hat does a single target, it seems, pyrotechnic strike, unless you use your ability. If you use your ability, you kind of snap your fingers, bewildering lights, and it will do like an AoE hit. And like that's fine. Like Ganyu's E ability isn't amazing, but it's just this ultimate ability. Unleashing his magic, you turn into a cat and you move around quickly. It just seems so boring. You're just like walking around, like jumping around doing some damage, and I don't know, it just doesn't feel interactive. It doesn't feel fun. It's like if you don't like the feeling of Sayu's ball rolling around, not fun. Now you could say the same thing about Yelan, is like dashing in between everyone. It's the same thing, essentially, yes. But I don't know. There's something about this character that just seems boring. And then if you start looking at like the scaling, and if you start looking at his passives, I just don't like the idea of this character. You consume HP when firing a prop arrow, and then you'll restore some energy. It'll also increase the damage dealt by 80% of his attack. So that's cool. You got some HP drainage stuff to do damage. You can heal based on some of the damage. It's interesting. But then this one here, I feel like everyone is going to try to do like a mono pyro build of some sort, or like Kazuha plus 3 pyro characters, because each party member, other than Lyney, will give you extra damage. You get a base attack increase, and Lyney can get 100% increased damage to opponents affected by pyro for having a full team here. And I don't know. I don't want to run pyro. I want to do reactions. And when I first saw his kit and I saw like the AoE, I was thinking, melt. Hit everything with ice and then melt them. And the idea of playing with like Bennett and Kazuha and then just doing some charge shots at this guy, it just doesn't seem interesting to me. I would rather be rotating from like Ganyu and Rosaria to this guy and then popping it with a huge 2 times damage multiplier melt or something. But I have no interest in this character. I feel like this character would be easily replaceable, and unless there's some crazy damage numbers that like power creep everyone, unless he's god tier, if you don't like this playstyle, I would avoid this person. I'm avoiding it playstyle alone. Even if he hits really hard, I don't care. I would not play with this character. Even if mono pyro is the new meta, you're using Dia and Bennett, and it's just the best team there's ever been. Don't care. Not doing it. I really like the reactions in this game, and like putting the characters together to do those reactions and the feeling of those rotations. Swapping to Bennett and slamming down, and then swapping to this person and using their ability and then just charge shotting, and it's all just on fire. Maybe that's amazing for someone, but for me, that sounds like a snooze fest. Lyney, I'm sorry, but you're not getting my vote. Lyney, you are going to make me quit Genshin Impact again, because I just can't stand this. Can't stand this playstyle. It seems more boring than swimming for 50% of the map and not being able to use any of your teams.